really an honor to share Rowena's story with you today, because what we see with Rowena is what we want to see with most of our participants. And she's a hardworking single mom, goes to work every day, works hard, takes wonderful care of her kids. And their family was impacted with COVID, and she was exposed at her work. And so then they had to isolate for 2 weeks. And while they were in isolation, of course, her children couldn't go to school and she missed work. And for her, if she doesn't work, she doesn't get paid. And then, of course, through the course of her exposure, she did come down with COVID. And so not being able to provide groceries for her family, go to the store, was just really an experience. And that's really how we met Rowena, was she needed some groceries delivered. And so one of our staff was actively involved with how we, were taking care of our families and delivering groceries, and kind of made a connection with her. And then her first child tested positive for COVID. And so then again, she was feeling better, but because of her child, she couldn't go to work. And then another 2 weeks round of caring for a sick child. And it just, Stacy, just really brought a lot of attention to me about how to care for our families when they were experiencing the COVID, and how impactful not being able to go to work and just not being able to feed her kids nutritious food because she was buying Clorox wipes and not protein. And so anyway, it was just I guess a really important learning opportunity for me on it, just in the housing arena outside of housing. Well, I think for us in a small community, and Stacy and I kind of talked about this earlier, that when you live in a small community, you know who's at Safeway, you know who's at the post office, you see people, or you don't see people, and that's when you worry, and you don't see your neighbors doing their normal routine. And so I think for us in a small community, trying to help one another has been really an important walkaway of taking care of each other, and not just your own family, but your neighbor's family too. Kodiak Island Housing Authority is a tribally designated housing entity, and so our target population is Alaska Native American Indian families. And so I was questioned why Kodiak Island Housing Authority was on the radio advertising ERAP services in Tagalog and Spanish. And so it kind of took me back a little bit, and because in our decision of how we wanted to serve our families with our ERAP funding was we were going to serve every family. Didn't matter if you were Alaska Native, Asian, Spanish, it didn't matter to us. And so we took the approach of we're going to serve every family that we can. And so I had a learning opportunity that day. And I think about it almost every day. I get really excited about the fact that we're able to partner. And you're right, the first time that the three of us really have entered into a true partnership and not turfing. And I feel like one of the important walkways as public servants to our community is we do better when we agree to partner, and that we welcome the partnership. And I want to just give the Brother Francis Shelter staff, Dana especially, she is working extremely hard. She's talking with our navigators. I think they talk probably 3 times a day right now. I know that they're talking with Chelsea and her staff, with your organization. And so I think that there's a mutual understanding of that we're all in this together, and that we're working to help families that need our help. And so I think for our organization, we've embraced the opportunity. We want people to know that we're here to help everybody, and not just paperwork wise, but really to make that connection and help people have affordable housing.